Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my March garden tour. Spring is definitely sprung, and I would like to start this tour on my beautiful hyacinths. The blue ones have bloomed, and they smell so good. And the white ones are about to pop up as well. This is my little watering station for the bees and the pollinators, where they can get water in the summer. And here's my other white one. Isn't it just pretty? I'm so excited. It just got done raining. When is it ever going to stop raining in California? But the rain sure is doing all of my plants a good fertilizing. There's so much nitrogen in rainwater. Just look at this Encore Azalea. Oh my goodness. This just never stops blooming. And after this last rain, it's still going strong. So beautiful. And I'm so excited to show you the new addition to my yard, my new little cottage garden. Although the bench isn't done being painted, I still wanted to put it out just to show you for this tour. I still have to do some outlining on the hearts. Some of the hearts haven't been outlined yet, but I'll get to that in no time. And inside these little pots, I have some Echeveria Perle von Nurnberg, one of my favorite succulents. And Mohawk says hello. So in these areas, I already planted some poppy seeds. What I'm going to do with this area is I'm just going to plant a lot of wildflowers and bulbs, and I really want it to be a little cottage garden. And this just goes to show that even if you have a small yard, you can still do something fun if you just kind of utilize each little corner and make the most of it. And check it out, all of my little lettuce has sprouted in my little Dollar Tree stackable containers. I made a video on that too. I'll leave a link in the description below. And check it out, I just cut off the bottom of a celery, stuck it in the ground, in the dirt, I mean. And look, it's starting to sprout. How fun is that? And my Plumbago. That's been transplanted a million times, so I'm just hoping that will come back. Now let's take a look at my vegetable garden, my narrow space vegetable garden. This area is only 3 feet, 4 inches wide. Now I thought I was planting cabbage, and in my last videos I was talking about the cabbage, but actually it's not cabbage at all. I discovered that what is growing in these pots is cauliflower. I will be harvesting this very, very soon. My husband loves cauliflower and cheese sauce. Over here I have broccoli. I'm just kind of wondering, when is it going to come up? And some rainbow Swiss chard, but it looks like the chickens got to this. My lunchbox orange sweet peppers haven't come back yet. For some reason, if they don't, I'll just put something else in these pots. Actually, I see some Mexican sunflowers sprouting. Some more rainbow Swiss chard. I believe these are carrots, and in the center is a celery. There's another celery heel that I stuck in the dirt, and it's growing as celery. That is so cool. Then we have some sweet peas, some more broccoli, and another broccoli. And in case you've never seen any of my other videos, husband and I got this iron structure from a friend of ours. They didn't want it, and they were going to throw it away. So I was happy to take it off their hands. Somebody made that. They just got a bunch of rebar and they welded it together. I mean, look at the craftsmanship in that. I think it's just absolutely beautiful, and it goes perfect in my garden. So this was totally meant to be. Very cool, huh? And in these little hanging pots, I have some cute little violas. These have been here all winter long. I thought they would die, but they didn't. And now that spring is here, they're just coming back to life even more vibrant. All of my little tulips are coming up. And these little daisies came back all by themselves. I didn't have to plant them. Hello, Lucky. And inside my vintage bathtub, all of my kale has bolted and gone to seed. But I'm not going to pull it out because I know the pollinators will be loving that, especially when there's not too much blooming this time of year. The pollinators definitely need something. So I'll leave that up for a while. I forget the name of this. If I can remember, I'll post it. Makes a really pretty lavender flower. And once again, I did not plant any of these little daisies. Those just came back from seed on their own. This is a Shasta daisy. And right in the center is a butterfly bush, a puglia. I think that's what it's called. And it makes a beautiful, beautiful purple flower. And over here on this side, my other vintage bathtub. My lantana hasn't come back yet. It always goes into dormant during the winter. But I do have a cauliflower in there. And in these pots, I planted some purple sensation allium. Now when allium grows, the foliage starts to die before the flowers bloom. So that's why I put them behind the bathtub. That way, when the flowers bloom, you won't see the dying foliage. So I thought that was kind of a clever little trick. So in this box, everything hasn't grown back yet, but I have some little seeds that are starting in my Dollar Tree Stackables. And check it out, here's another celery plant I grew just by sticking the bottom of a celery heel in the dirt. I'm telling you, this really works. This is a Miss Figgy dwarf fig tree, and you could see that it's starting to come back. The little buds. And this produces such delicious figs, and the birds don't get to it. Another Pugster butterfly bush, and a gara. And behind the gara, I have some garlic. But if you notice down here, I have lots of little lettuce sprouts that just came back on their own from seed. Oops, excuse the chicken poop. I let my chickens out every day. And all these little tiny daisies, those just came back on their own from seed as well. Over here we have a sedum autumn joy with some fennel. The fennel is so beautiful and airy. I just love the foliage on that. Another sedum autumn joy on the right. An Echeveria Perle von Nurnberg. And over here we have some carex grass, a lily behind that, and some heuchera that looks like it's starting to bloom. I was not expecting. Okay, let's just address the elephant in the room. What is this big giant contraption? Well, husband and I were out yard sailing and we found this rabbit hutch, and I'm going to be using this cage to put my chickens in so they can come outside when they get a little bit older. So it's just kind of sitting there for now. In this pot, I have some gladiola. Those haven't come up yet. And here is my propagation station and little bird feeding station as well. This is where I put all my succulents because it gets the perfect amount of light. Start seeds here, I propagate succulents, and just basically a little work spot. And on top of this is all of my little bird houses that I pick up at the thrift store and yard sales. And then I throw bird seed up there and the birds go crazy. So it's a lot of fun for me to watch the birds and have a little area to start seeds since my yard is so small. Cacti and succulents are so much fun because you can really just break off a piece, stick it in dirt, and it grows. So these are great plants to grow, especially if you're gardening on a budget. They just don't like a lot of water though. California has experiencing another atmospheric river, and look at that poor succulent. It's just drowning. It's kind of getting a little mushy. But you could always bring them inside underneath an umbrella or a patio or a greenhouse. I just didn't do that. I really didn't think it was going to rain this much. Wow. But look at this. My Carolina jasmine vine is starting to bloom. It is so beautiful and perfect timing because right now there's a lot of bees that are coming out, but there's not a lot for them to, what would be the word, forage on or get pollen from. So thank goodness for the Carolina jasmine. Look at all the new little sprouts on my Euphorbia. It's so beautiful. I love the variegated leaves. Did you hear my knees crack? Well, they make these beautiful little flowers. I can't wait for that to bloom. So has anybody else been noticing a ton of thistle? Look at that thistle. I have thistle everywhere in my yard. I need to definitely pull that once I put some gloves on. But I guess it's because of all the rain. My little succulents in my barrel, they're doing really good. They're multiplying like crazy. Did you know that rainwater has a lot of nitrogen in it? So when it rains, you're actually fertilizing your garden. Like I said though, these succulents don't like all this, not this much rain. So I just pull out the mushy ones and it'll be fine. That's been here for a couple years. Do you hear that noise? That's my husband building his cars. Sunflower I got at the dollar store. Just wanted to run out front real quick and show you that all of my daffodils are starting to bloom. How exciting! Especially since we just went through a huge storm. I thought for sure the storm was gonna just destroy these, but it didn't. Hi, Kiki. And I have a clematis growing up this trellis. Some heuchera underneath the bench because in the summertime we get a lot of sun, so that protects them. And another clematis growing up this side. But I'm thrilled about those daffodils. I appreciate you for watching my March garden tour, and I hope to see you again.